So welcome back to my channel. Listen, man. So the singer David, man. So we finally might have somebody might be arrested. And I say it might. So TMZ kind of released a video today, man, early today, basically saying that somebody might be arrested today. You know what I'm saying? So we already know that a couple weeks ago, TMZ already they got from their source or whatever said Celeste Rivas was frozen. Come to find out, the authorities and FBI agents say no, she wasn't frozen. So, right there, in my opinion, right there, man, TMZ credibility kind of went down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know TMZ, this big news kind of blog or whatever company known for really getting right information and getting the information first to everybody. So now it seems today TMZ is kind of coming up saying, you know what, our source really comes out today and says somebody might be arrested. But let's play the video, man, and react to it.
There is someone who is about to get arrested in the case involving the death of Celeste Rivas, and it is not David. We know a lot. Let me download you on what we found out.
See, that right there is like, okay, coming out, man, a lot of people, even myself, beginning of just hearing about everything in the beginning, all we already thought, like, listen, this girl was found in your car by your house, you know what I'm saying? And while you on tour and stuff like that. So a lot of people really thought, like I said myself, really thought like, okay, this guy's guilty. You know what I'm saying? All the videos and pictures of her and this guy, you know what I'm saying, online and stuff like that. So they basically was kind of dating, even though she was younger than him. So all the evidence kind of pointed to this guy, but come to find out we all kind of was wrong and really jumped the gun as myself, you know what I'm saying, was wrong and jumping the gun and thinking this guy's guilty. And maybe we all don't know the information, so he really might don't be guilty. You know what I mean? So the authorities kind of talking to this guy, man, David, but reports came out that he's not really helping them with the investigation and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So basically, his lawyers kind of basically saying, don't talk too much or whatever. You know what I mean? So every other day, man, it's something new with this case, and it's like some people saying he's going to be arrested. He's not going to be arrested. He's a suspect. He's not a suspect. So it's this story is all over the place. You know what I mean? So now we have TMZ saying finally somebody's going to be arrested.
So this week, there has been a witness before the grand jury, and he is intimately involved in David's life, the singer David, who the LAPD and the LA County DA says is a suspect in what they believe is the murder of Celeste Rivas. His name is Robert Morgenroth. Robert Morgenroth is the head of Mogul Vision, which is the label for David. But more than just the executive, the general manager, he is a manager. He manages David, and he is involved in the murder of Celeste Rivas. His name is Robert Morgenroth. Robert Morgenroth is the head of Mogul Vision, which is the label for David. But more than just the executive, the general manager, he is a manager. He manages David, and he is involved in David's day-to-day life and clearly knows a lot. So on Monday, Morgenroth was in the hallway with his lawyer, and there were people around, and they weren't sitting or standing right next to them, but the hallway echoes. And it was clear to people around there that there was a conversation that Morgenroth was having with his lawyer. And he was recounting what happened inside the grand jury room with the prosecutor in the case. The prosecutor, Beth Silverman, according to Morgenroth, here's what he said. She was very pushy on why I didn't call police. And then he went on to say that he said, in response to that, he said, quote, I feel like I didn't have the responsibility to do that and just wanted to continue with the tour. Now, we do not know the context of this, but when the DA is grilling him about.
So that's so that right there, that's pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? Because we have once again somebody who's right there. So this guy talked to his lawyer, you know what I'm saying, in the hallway, but the people who hear is not really close. And Harvey right there, who's the owner of TMZ, coming out saying that people heard him and the walls echo. And I don't know, man. It's like I'm not trying to like downgrade TMZ, but it's like really, people in the hallway really heard all that what he said to his lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then again, it's like this guy is a role manager, and he's like one of the owners, I guess, big time in the company, the record label that signed David. Like, you would put all that and try to hide and or maybe allegedly kill this girl. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it sounds crazy to me. You know what I mean? Because this guy's like he gonna lose all his money, business and stuff like that. And how Harvey's saying is like, okay, he's the one that's about to be going to jail. He was the one who killed the girl. Like, I don't know. It's just wow, man.
Not calling the police. That has to involve a crime. You're not going to call the police because somebody didn't show up for work. You're going to call the police if there's some kind of crime involved, especially since this is a case involving what the DA says is a crime. So we don't know what Morgan Roth knew that would require him, according to the DA, to pick up a telephone and call the police. But there's something. And again,
So he basically saying that this guy knew something and he didn't call the police. But they basically, in the beginning, he basically saying that this guy might be arrested and he's the one they about to charge him of the death of Celeste. This is crazy, man.
he was involved in David's day-to-day life. So, okay, there is more. There is another manager in this same company, and his name is Josh Marshall. That name may be familiar to you because Josh Marshall was the guy who leased the house in the Hollywood Hills that David was staying at. It is the same house that the LAPD raided pursuant to a search warrant just shortly after Celeste's body was found inside David's Tesla. We are told by law enforcement sources that that house and that search was really critical in their investigation. So Josh Marshall, who leased the house, who signed the lease, is part of the company Mogul Vision that Morgan Roth is also involved with. Morgan Roth and Josh Marshall are both managers of David. So they seem to know a lot about David. I don't know, we don't know, if Josh Marshall was called as a witness. I would frankly be very surprised if he wasn't. But Morgan Roth testified for at least 3 days. We don't know if he was testifying last week as well. One other interesting thing happened on Tuesday. Morgan Roth went into a courtroom that is next to where the grand jury was hearing the testimony. And along with Morgan Roth, the DA, Beth Silverman, also walked in. Now that's important because when there's something that happens in the grand jury where there's a dispute, for example, if a witness won't answer a question and the DA is pressing for an answer, if there's a stalemate, the DA can go to the judge and force the witness to testify, or at least get the judge to do that. We don't know if that's why they walked in, but both Morgan Roth and Beth Silverman walked into that courtroom. And when they did, we have a reporter who was down there who was in the courtroom, and the judge kicked our reporter out and closed the hearing. So something was going on about what was happening in the grand jury room, and it may well be there was some dispute over what Morgan Roth would or would not say. But again, we don't know what that is. Now let's go to Wednesday, because this gets even more interesting. So I told you that Beth Silverman is the DA. Morgan Roth's lawyer is a woman by the name of Evan Janess. So um, this is after the conversation on Monday. On Wednesday, Beth Silverman, the prosecutor, walks out into the hallway and starts talking to attorney Evan Janess. And what we are told by people who are around there is that Beth Silverman was very frustrated and said that she would have a judge issue a body attachment to a female witness that was supposed to appear before the grand jury, a witness whom Janess represents. Remember, Janess also represents Morgenroth. So apparently, this witness didn't show up, and Beth Silverman seemed frustrated, according to the people there, and said to Janess, I'm going to have a body attachment placed on this woman, and we're going to have her taken to court. That's an arrest, taken to court to appear before the grand jury. So we don't know if that woman also has a connection to Morgenroth, who is again represented by Evan Janess. So there are a lot of connections here. Connections between Josh Marshall and Morgenroth, both of whom were really intimately involved in David's day-to-day life. And then you have this female witness who may be involved with Morgenroth as well, because the same lawyer represents both of them. And you've got a situation where it sounds like not everybody is being fully cooperative with the prosecutor, who seems to be getting increasingly frustrated as the grand jury plows along.
Wow, man. So I don't know. It's like now we got three maybe witnesses. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like these two guys, part of this record label, whatever. You know what I mean? And enroll managers of David. So it's like 9 out of 10, they know what's going on. I'm not saying they know what's going on with how that girl got killed, but like knowing what's going on with David. And maybe they do know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if David knows something, he probably told them. You know what I mean? So these guys lawyered up. And now there's another witness, there's a female. And this is the first time I heard, you know what I mean, about there's a female that, you know what I'm saying, that's being caught up in this situation that might end up testifying or whatever. So I don't know. Like I say, every day this case is wild and wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the sad thing is, man, her parents, you know what I mean, is continuing to got to go through this every day and see it on the blogs and stuff like that, and YouTube and all type of stuff, social media website, just talking about their kid. You know what I mean? So I really hope that, you know what I'm saying, authorities really find out who really killed this girl and really lock them up forever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Before, like I say, David, man, was he was a suspect, and it seems like now he's not a suspect. You know what I mean? So it's like, wow, it's just crazy and crazy, man. But listen, that's all I got for now. Yeah, tell me what y'all think about this whole situation, yo. It's wild.